Welcome to Capacity TV. My name's Burkitt-Gray. I'm editor-at-large at Capacity Magazine, and I'm delighted here that live at ITW 2022, we've got Carl Roberts, who's a consultant at Hadaara Consulting, based in the UAE. Carl, but you probably know him as Carl as somebody who's been around in this industry for such a long time. I remember at Verizon, you've worked at other companies as well, Carl. So thank you for joining us on Capacity TV. This is the first ITW for 3 years back live. What are your feelings of it?
It's been fabulous to get everybody back together. The event has been joyous, I'd say. And despite the fact that everybody's totally exhausted at this point of the event, it's been a very energizing event. The conversations have not been about old subjects. It's about growth. It's about how people can realistically work together, and it's about innovation. If you look at the keynote panels, it's all very forward-looking and trying to understand how all the different actors in the ecosystem, which is now not just telecoms but ICT in general, how they have to work together for us to achieve growth again. And there's a great amount of enthusiasm and positivity, so it's been an incredibly uplifting event. And building, I guess, is going crescendo because earlier in the year, Capacity Middle East was a very well-attended event, and there was a buzz, and that buzz keeps getting buzzier as we go forward. And this event's been yes, okay, sorry, I shouldn't have said that. But look, it's been great, and of course, reconnecting with everybody in person has been fantastic. For those people who, over the past 2 years, we only met over Zoom, we've kind of de-Zoomified these people and seen how tall they are, for example.
And the other thing about, you met people on Zoom by arrangement, not just bumped into them in the coffee queue or at the bottom of the elevator or something like that. Yeah.
And the other thing is that I've had so many people. I mean, look, this is the last day, and normally things are kind of winding down, but I've got a kind of full appointment schedule right up to flight time, which is great. And I've had so many people saying, "Oh, I've been meaning to call you, and let's talk about this."
Yeah.
And I've seen that happen so many times, and particularly in the GLF community, which is a fantastic arena, I'd say, where all the big players meet. Conversations that would never have come together otherwise happen because people are in that space, and it's just brilliant. So, coming here, I was excited. Leaving, I'm even more excited and very optimistic about the future. And I think there's so many exciting things that are going to happen as the industry really needs to pivot in a different direction, because we all know over the past couple of years, it's how quickly can the race to digitalization be realized, what needs to be done, who do you need to work with, and how you need to think and act differently, and how you need to get new skills into the business, because our industry is changing enormously. And all of this has come together in conversations here, so it's great. I'm kind of buzzing, tired.
Without treading on Elisabetta Romano's toes, and she is the new chair of the GLF, announced here at ITW. What should be the GLF's priorities over the next year?
I think the GLF needs to, going back to what I was just saying, look at the key themes that are important in the industry, and not at a kind of esoteric level, in theory level, because for the longest time, these meetings about, we're talking about partnerships, this, that, the other. There need to be concrete actions, but pragmatic actions that deliver results. Because when you look at the economies around the world, look at everybody's numbers, they're kind of going down, and there's lots of extraneous events that are contributing to that. So how can we realize this transformation in the industry while driving positive results, meaning growth, right? Because at the end of the day, if it's not about growth, then we shouldn't be doing it. So to pragmatically focus on a handful of key initiatives that are important to the industry that will drive growth, and kind of whittle those down into in real terms, how does each member of the GLF need to work collaboratively, not just with the people in the room, but with the broader ecosystem and different actors, because our whole ecosystem has exploded now, right?
Yeah.
You've gone from this being a telco event to being a telco plus cloud plus software, and when you put all that together, the software pieces are coming from different DNA, different origins, because that's not the native skill of an operator, right? So how do we bring those different actors in? How do we find out who they are so that all the pieces come together again? So I think it should be be very much about what are the things that will, I'm trying to find the right expression, what will really move the needle? Because there's a million things you could debate, but if you're going to pick 5 things, these things need to move the needle for everybody, and that's going to require a different level of collaboration and cooperation than we've seen historically, because it's about doing different things. The broad geographies that are covered by all those operators, and I think that we'll get a much more pragmatic kind of collaboration going forward, and hopefully that's what the GLF will do. I mean, it's a great collection of people, but the outcomes are very, very important.
Great. And finally, what are the strategic priorities for Carl Roberts between now and 2023? Well, I remember 5 or 6 years ago we gave you a Lifetime Achievement Award.
Well, I'm going for a second one of those.
Good. Okay. I'll make sure you enter.
Look, I'm very much enjoying what I'm doing. I can't disclose obviously who I do work for, but I'm involved in a lot of these transformational activities, and I find it fascinating. I find there's a real willingness for carriers all around the world to how quickly can we get to the next step and create value and do different things and improve our customer experience. And along that road, we've got new things that happened. I mean, the panel I had the pleasure of moderating was all about innovation and how that impacts customer experience. It's about the role of software in the business, and that kind of starts at the network layer but goes through how you develop products and then how you interface with the customer in a way that's kind of simple and seamless, right? And that, easy to say, very difficult to do. And what I keep preaching, so I'll use this platform to preach it again, is the 2 zeros. If you can get zero touch right and zero trust right, then you're in pretty good shape.
Great.
So I'm helping people through that process. I'm working on new projects, new growth projects as well, and having a ball and loving working with the amazing people in this industry. And just on a final point, with all these wonderful things going on, I want to remind everybody that the Global Carrier Awards 2022 will take place at Capacity Europe in October, and the submissions window is open till I guess it's mid-July, right, Alan? I'm sure everybody will check when they watch this. So for everybody, please don't forget to submit, because when I look at all the great things that are going on, we really deserve to share that with the world at large. And let's also not forget, these are, in my view anyway, definitely the most authentic and well-deserved awards. So looking forward to that too.
Thank you, Carl. It's great as ever to talk to you. Thank you for joining us on Capacity TV. Thank you.